K1c, we are a community seeking the kingdom first. Jeff Wiggum, Acts 8, yet again, 5 minutes. Okay, we're still going to do a little deeper into the first part of Acts 8. Let's focus where our stories are happening is down here. But we're quickly, this is sort of Paul's travels and stuff in time. So that Saul, that beginning of thing we just saw happen, where he's persecuting people. Look, he's fixing to work that out. He's got some stuff he's got to do. But Judea in the south, Samaria up here, right? This is sort of the area that we're talking about. Here's Gaza, as we mentioned about the eunuch, right? So that's sort of where we are. Eventually, this stuff is spreading all over. These are places in the book of Acts, right? So, and then as far as, again, we are in Israel, which was given to the people. So it's a special place we're still in, but it's going out elsewhere. Okay? So we reviewed this quickly before, but let's just talk about Stephen, the importance of his witness, the importance of Saul's introduction. We're coming through. Nothing really surprising. We're used to the story in our minds of people getting killed for the gospel. We need to keep our eye on this unclean spirit, demons casting out, and then because it's really a part of this, some power that's happening here is the Holy Spirit is greater than this. But let's pay attention to that in the background. They're being persecuted, so they're scattered. Nothing new for the Jews. So, all right. And so basically, Philip is the Stephen here. Philip, an evangelist. He's about preaching with power and powerful stuff to him. But we get Paul introduced. So let's introduce Paul in this 5-minute moment. Paul is going to later go around. So he's born in Tarsus, which we'll see is up by Antioch up there in Asia Minor, Turkey. And then we got, Jesus dies, Stephen stoned, Saul travels to Damascus. That's about where we are because he's fixing to get, lit up and changed. Then he escapes. Anyway, he's got lots of troubles. So for about the next 15 years, right? That's where he's going. And Paul wrote most of the New Testament, because most of the New Testament is composed on letters and this and that, not just the Gospels or something. And a lot of folks say that, well, it's Paulinism and not Christianity, etc. And these are forgeries and not. That's not the way I see it. Bible's a Bible to me. These are just places where a lot of times from jail, this guy was writing. So, okay. So let's get back to Acts. So verse 9, chapter 8, verse 9, but there was a certain man called Simon. Okay, so now we have Simon. And it makes him look bad, but it says he's a believer in Jesus. He came to Jesus. He clearly just didn't understand. And he's here offering Peter, supposedly, cash for this thing. But he already has power and he has respect. And he's very considered by everybody, rich and the whole 9 yards. But he deals with this notion of this, whatever this demonic fallen spirit is, witchcraft stuff, which is sort of what we do too. So it bewitched. There's no reason to downplay that. Here's Galatians. Who has bewitched you, before whose eyes Jesus Christ was publicly portrayed as crucified? Right? Who has stolen this from you? Who has hidden this thing from you? We're all full of witchcraft. Good old, of course, Gandalf is a good wizard, right? If there were such a thing. Of course, there's not. Of course, Tom Brady and his wife, it's a witch. I heard him say it on TV, so I guess it's true. I don't know. A little creepy. Of course, we got the Christian churches. We're surrounded by it, right? This little creepy dude with this whole little infinity Ouroboros magic crap, pentagram stuff, witchcraft. And we even know that this rebellion is a sin of witchcraft, right? And we got all kinds of nastiness. So we're in a world covered up with witchcraft. There's no minimizing that to like, well, I can't see it's not real. Well, you just go out to minimize the Holy Spirit because you don't see the Holy Spirit either, but you see the power. And here we have the power being contrasted, right? And one even being repenting out of it. And it looks like Paul, they nailed it and they kept on cruising, right? They kept on preaching. They addressed it and then they were preaching. Okay, we're about coming to the end of it. But the idea in these first few is what we need to realize is that we're comparing two things as y'all meditate on this. And the great power of the Holy Spirit, there is no comparison. But nonetheless, we want to be a holy people separated from all this other nastiness. Because you can see, as soon as Paul and them saw this guy was still sticking with sorcery or wanted to buy it with money, they were like, they smacked him and ditched him.